So we're going to carry on with our work on the planets today, on our solar system. And the first thing we're going to do here, we got an activity where I want all of you guys, you're going to be arranging the planets in order. There's the sun here. We got the sun painted for us, and we're going to arrange them in order and distance from the sun. But I thought something that might be kind of interesting for all of us here, and especially for me, is if we, each of you, just say for the others what the planets are in your native language. So anybody want to start?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so I guess since you guys both speak Spanish, why don't you do start with the sun, Marcela, and do 5 planets out, starting with the sun, and then Pablo can do 5, and then we'll come to you guys.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The first one is Sol, Mercurio, Venus, Tierra, y Marte.
The next ones are Júpiter, Saturno, Urano, Neptuno, y Plutón.
Great. Okay, so that's interesting because they're very similar, aren't they?
Yeah.
Very similar. That's great. Okay, so Jerusalem, how about you?
Except Earth and Sun, they are the same. Sun is high and Earth is moderate.
And everything else is the same. That's
yeah.
interesting. And pronounced more or less the same as
Yeah.
well. Wow, okay. Okay, Mint, how about in Thai, please?
The Sun is ดวงอาทิตย์ and Mercury is ดาวพุธ Venus is ดาวศุกร์ and Earth is โลก and Mars is ดาวอังคาร
Yeah, very different. You want to name the rest, or?
Okay. This is ดาวพฤหัส
Uh-huh.
The Saturn is ดาวเสาร์ Uranus is just Uranus and Neptune is Neptune. Good.
Interesting. So the last 3 actually are done more or less in English then?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's fascinating for me anyway. Thanks. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do then is I'd like you guys just to work as a group here. And if you could use these, I've just made these little models here of the planets so they don't roll. And arrange them in order of distance closest to the sun and farthest. So you guys can just slide them around and go ahead.
Well, obviously, Mercury is like the closer.
Yeah. Yeah, why don't you just arrange them now, and then we'll, I see you've got your vocabulary words there. That's great, Pablo. So, and then we'll talk about them once you've got them organized like that.
Okay.
Just
So
go ahead and move them around. Yeah, talk to each other however you like. We don't need that there.
First of all, the closest one to the sun, which is Mercury.
And then
the closer.
Venus.
Closer to Mercury is Venus.
And
then we have
Earth.
Earth. We could like put them
Why
in
is it
kind
blue?
of-
Oh, it's because.
Yeah, the colors are not that significant. It was just to distinguish one from the other and to keep them from rolling off the table. Okay, so we can, and let's turn the words this way so everybody can see them more or less. Okay, that's good.
So what would be next then?
Mars.
Mars. And then after Mars it comes
Jupiter.
Jupiter,
And then Saturn.
which is right here. And then we would have
And then Neptune.
Neptune and then Pluto.
Right. And so we talked about this a bit earlier. We're going to count Pluto today because it is out there, but everybody knows that it's not regarded as a planet anymore. But we're going to use it today because it's still out there orbiting around it. It's still in all of the printouts and any iconography you see of the solar system. It's still there.
Yeah, I have heard that Pluto is actually considered a star
Oh, really?
because apparently like it shines like every like in a while and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I have like.
How interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. Okay, so any questions so far? Anybody need any help with any of it? Understand it? Pronunciation of the terms is all okay? The actual planets?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next part of the activity, and I'll just demonstrate it first, what we're gonna do, because we're gonna be now moving on to kind of a little bit of an English part of the lesson where we're gonna use the planets to talk about comparative language. So you see you've got the vocabulary words that we're gonna be using today, and we're gonna be talking about comparing distance of these planets from the sun, or from each other if you want to. And we're gonna be using close, closer, and closest. and far, farther, and farthest. So I'll just demonstrate a little bit, and then I'm going to probably ask each of you a question, and then I'm going to get you to work in pairs asking each other some questions, okay? All right, so for example, let's start with Venus is close to the sun. Mercury is closer to the sun. Okay, Mars is close to the sun, but Earth and Venus and Mercury are closer to the sun. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. Okay, and then as far as the other ones, okay, let's pick Neptune is far from the sun, but Pluto is farther from the sun.
Hence, Pluto is the farthest.
Yes, in this case, Pluto is the farthest from the sun. Very good. Okay, one more. Saturn is far from the sun, but Mars is closer than Saturn to the sun. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Marcella, which is closer to the sun? And also, when I ask a question, I ask them. You guys try to respond in complete sentences. And it's same with when you're doing it with each other, okay?
Okay.
So, Marcella, which is closer to the sun, Neptune or Saturn?
Saturn is closest to the sun.
Saturn is
Closer.
closer to the
To the
sun.
sun,
Very
yeah.
good. Okay, yeah. Okay, and Mint, which is farther from the sun, Mars or Uranus? Which one is farther from the sun, Mars or Uranus? We can use them to point to. Sometimes it's easier if we show exactly what
So Uranus is farther than Mars to the sun.
Very good. Okay. And Jerusalem, which is the closest planet to the sun?
The closest planet to the sun is Mercury.
Very good. Okay. And Pablo will get one for you. Which planet is farther from the sun, Mars or Jupiter?
Well, apparently Jupiter is farther than Mars to the sun.
Very good. And it's an interesting thing, but I'll just mention, we usually say farther from.
Farther from.
Yeah,
Okay.
farther from the sun. Yeah.
So you don't really mention the.
Well, rather than to, farther
Okay.
to the sun. It's farther from the sun. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. Anyway, all right. So now what I'd like you to do, you guys work in pairs. How about Jerusalem and Mint, and Marcela and Pablo? And if you need to help each other in Spanish, you can, but try to do it in English. But so what I'd like to do, just ask each other questions about the distances.
Okay.
Okay.
Which one is
So.
the closest?
Um,
Earth or Mars? Mars?
Do you know?
So Earth is.
Wait, I don't get
closer
like how
to
this
the
is
sun
actually
than
farther from the sun than Earth.
Which is
Because
farther
Earth is closer to the sun,
to the sun,
and Mars is
Saturn or
behind Earth and is farther.
Uranus.
But how can you tell though? Because like it actually looks like they're really.
Closest
Really
to the
close.
sun.
Yeah.
No,
It's like really
Saturn
close.
is
But
closer to
who's
the sun.
farther
Mars is farther to the sun, from the sun.
from the
There
sun?
you go. Yeah, farther from the sun.
Which one
Okay,
is
what about
very
Uranus
closer to
and
the
Neptune?
sun?
Who's closer to
Jupiter
the
or
sun?
Saturn?
Uranus is closer from the sun.
Jupiter is closer
Yeah.
than Saturn to the sun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, closer to the sun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two.
So
Mhm.
it would be closer
Yeah.
to and
Farther
farther
from.
from. Oh,
It's
okay.
closer.
Farther from.
Two.
Oh, I think I got
Yeah.
this. Closer
I
to.
don't.
Yeah.
The
So,
farthest
okay,
and the
So
closest.
Mercury is closer
Mhm.
to the
Can you say
sun.
that?
Can we
Is
say
it closest
Farthest and
to
closest.
the sun?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which
And
one
Mars,
is the farthest planet
Is
from the sun?
closer to the sun.
The farthest
but
planet
farther
from the sun is Pluto.
from Pluto. I don't know.
Yeah, it can be.
So, and then
Oh.
Pluto would be the farthest
Right?
from
From
the
the
sun.
sun.
Yeah, there we go.
That's right, very good, yeah.
With
Yeah,
two,
but it's
farther.
not planet anymore.
Yeah.
Far
No,
from.
but we're just, it's in the orbit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a planet, but we're gonna count it anyway.
Alright.
Because it's out there and it's on our diagram, and it is the farthest orbiting body from the sun, I guess.
Miss, I was wondering, what are these like, kind of like dots in here? Like those kind of like spots?
Yeah, that's just something that came out on the handout. Those, they're not black holes.
Oh, okay, yeah, just
Yeah.
making sure here.
No, there was some text on there that I didn't want to get in the way, so that was my attempt at Photoshop there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so does anybody have any questions?
I have a question. Can you explain again about the to and from? Because I
Yeah,
don't get that.
yeah, I will. And that's kind of an interesting thing because I think in Spanish one uses de for a lot of different things. Not yet.
And it's
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, we actually
And I
do.
think that might be kind of, yeah, because I was thinking about that myself. So we say
cerca de.
farther from, farthest from, it's far from. And close to, closer to, and closest to.
So it couldn't be possible to say it's closer from.
No.
No.
Okay, so it's closer to and farther from.
Farther from, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So what I'll probably do is just send, you'll work on your own now on a crossword puzzle that I'll hand out in a minute. And we'll just have a short break here. Okay, unless anybody has any questions? Okay, great.
Thank you.